He could face upwards of 3 years in prison. But when the judge sentences him in November, prosecutors again are going to push for probation, not jail time. New here at 11 o'clock, hundreds of people got back in their homes tonight, more than 24 hours after they had to evacuate. This is less than an hour southwest of Dayton. A dangerous chemical called styrene leaked from that rail car. Started yesterday. There were concerns that thing could explode. Tonight, our news partners at WCPO TV reported health experts tested the air and did not find anything dangerous. But to be safe, public health did tell people in evacuation area there to throw out any unpackaged food they have. And Storm Center 7 weather specialist in for Chief Meteorologist Austin Cheney tonight. We were talking in the break. Over my 30-plus years in television, I've covered about a half dozen hurricanes, been right in the middle of them. And again, when you're looking at category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to break down the difference between each of those.
Yeah, I think it's kind of important to kind of show just how impactful each category is and just how much worse it can get as we go higher. So let's break things down using the Saffir-Simpson scale. We'll start with the category 1 hurricane, which is what Helene is right now. And you notice at a category 1 level, you start to see some power outages, you start to see some siding ripped off of homes, kind of more minor damage. As we move up to category 2, we start to take that next step up. We start to see widespread power outages becoming a bit more of a problem for us. We're starting to see more pieces of homes ripped off. We're starting to see that water, especially if you're along the coast, start to come inland a little bit more. And then we go to category 3 hurricane. This is where we start to see the major hurricane status, anything 3, 4, or 5. That's where widespread power outages become more intense. They can last potentially for several weeks at that particular point, especially on the upper end of that category 3 strength. And if we really start to go to that category 4 or 5, you start to see total homes wiped away, that water really coming inland and causing significant coastal flooding and beach erosion. So certainly some big problems there. But thankfully, we're not expecting anything that intense here in the Miami Valley. We'll take you out to live Doppler 7 radar late this evening. You see we are dry for the time being. Temperature sitting at 67 degrees, but you work off to the northwest. Skies have cleared just a little bit. So we're seeing a few spots drop into the upper 50s where the clouds are a little thicker and a little more persistent. We're still hanging on to the 60s, and even in Springfield's case, still sitting at 70 degrees late this evening, and we should fall down into a mix of 50s and 60s by tomorrow morning. At the bus stop, we'll start the morning out with some cloud cover, but I do think we're dry to start the day. Through the afternoon, we'll leave mostly cloudy skies in the forecast and a slim chance of a shower, but it's about 10%. So that means I wouldn't bank on the rain necessarily. And then we start to see the changes moving in as we get towards Friday. Here's how Futurecast paints things out for us. It still indicates a rogue shower tonight, but I think that chance is pretty much done for us across the Miami Valley. Out to work tomorrow morning, 7, 8 o'clock. We start the day with mostly cloudy skies. Into the afternoon, stray shower cannot be ruled out, but you notice very few of us actually seeing some rain. And we could use it, and we're going to get quite a bit of it the way it looks on this run of Futurecast into Friday morning. Going out to work, I will say this run has shifted things north a little bit tonight compared to what we were showing you a little bit earlier today. So that means some steady rain for a good portion of us going out to work and school Friday morning. And then Friday evening, we see a batch of very heavy rain moving into the Miami Valley. This is also a little stronger than what we showed earlier and a little further north. So there's still some fine-tuning and some tweaking to do with this forecast, but this would make for a very rough ride home from work and also make for a very rough go for touchdown 7 football games when you factor in those wind gusts. Most of this does start to wind down as we get towards early Saturday morning, and we're left with just some stray showers left over to kick off your weekend. Let's look at the wind gust forecast. These have been showing some signs of wanting to increase. Through Friday morning, we see those gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. This forecast model, I've trended it down manually a little bit for you because I don't necessarily think we're going to see winds gusting above 45 miles per hour, at least for right now, thanks to cloud cover overhead. But either way, this would be tropical storm force winds. The good news, though, this doesn't last forever. By Saturday morning, those wind gusts start to taper off, and we're left with just lighter winds and more breezy conditions for us. The rainfall forecast tonight also has trended upward, showing anywhere from 1/2 inch to as much as 2 1/4 inches. So you can see what just a little bit of a tweak to the forecast or a little bit of a change in the track of the storm, what that could really do for us. So we still got some fine tuning to do. I want you to stay tuned to us here for the latest updates on that. My Storm Center 7-day forecast shows we linger the rain chances into the weekend, but we are more scattered in nature. Temperatures right there in the mid-70s where we should be. And James, I think after that rain on Friday, we'll want some dry weather. We probably won't see that return until Tuesday or Wednesday of next week.
All right, sir. Appreciate your knowledge. Thank you. Now, we're excited about News Center 7 Circle of Kindness Red Cross Community Blood Drive. We've been